Welcome to this week's supply chain update, brought to you by Phoenix International. We start with the latest on US-China trade. On October 10th, President Trump announced plans to impose a 100% tariff on China beginning November 1st, along with possible export controls on critical software. The US-China tariff truce, set to expire November 10th, might be extended if China delays new rare earth export restrictions. Meanwhile, the US government shutdown entered its third week. CBP continues to process cargo, but refunds and drawback claims are still on hold. Also effective October 14th, both the US and China introduced new reciprocal vessel fees on each other's ships, a move that will gradually raise port costs over the coming months. Turning to ocean freight, let's see how global trade lanes are performing after Golden Week. Across the Trans-Pacific, capacity remains tight at about 60 to 70% through late October but is expected to recover above 80% next month. Demand is steady yet soft, and the October 15th rate increase has begun to take hold. On the Far East westbound lane, carriers are keeping capacity cuts of around 10% each week, while congestion at Antwerp and Rotterdam continues to cause delays. Despite sluggish demand, carriers are holding firm on November rate levels. Across the Atlantic, European ports remain busy. Yard utilization is ranging between 70 and 90%, but rates are steady at about $1,800 to $1,900 per foot. Now let's move to the skies and see how air freight is shaping up this week. Air cargo demand across Asia remains strong following Golden Week. High-tech and e-commerce exports from North China continue to absorb space, while South China sees extra bookings as importers ship ahead of the November tariffs. Vietnam and Thailand are near full capacity, and conditions in Malaysia and South Korea remain tight but stable. Rates are expected to stay elevated through late October. From Asia to Latin America, let's check how rates and ports are performing along this important trade corridor. Hapag-Lloyd announced a general rate increase effective November 1st for all Far East to Latin America routes, covering both coasts and the Caribbean. The carrier also confirmed that its Buenos Aires Express service will omit Puerto Angamos, Chile, in its next rotation to optimize scheduling. At this time, no new customs or regulatory changes have been reported for the region. Before we wrap up, here are a couple of other stories shaping global trade this week. Trans-Pacific imports dropped nearly 12% year-over-year in September, but strong consumer spending and lean inventories suggest a rebound early next year. Ports like Los Angeles and Long Beach remain fluid, supporting efficient cargo movement ahead of 2026. And finally, the US and China have both implemented reciprocal port fees on each other's vessels, effective October 14th. Analysts say this marks a new phase in trade tensions and could lead to higher shipping costs as officials prepare for the APEC summit later this month. And that concludes our update on the global supply chain. Thank you for joining us. We will continue to monitor these developments and keep you informed.